I was asked to go over a detailed brisket birria cook, so let's do that. I'm telling you, man, this one is a repeater for sure, crowd favorite, highly recommend. It is absolutely freaking amazing. So we gotta start by washing the veggies, getting them smoked. I usually do this the day before. So I'm cutting up my tomatoes, getting them ready to go into the smoker. We're gonna douse them with some voodoo and some cumin. Making a little bit of a mess. But I think this adds a little bit more flavor than just throwing them in the blender from the start. I like to smoke them. Typically I do 225 for 90 minutes or so. But you'll see here, talk about it later, I was doing a meat stick cook that I do at 165. So I was going to put those in at the same time. Got my onions ready. This was a double brisket birria, so that's why I have so many veggies. You can't have too many because it makes the marinade, and that stuff is freaking gold. Because I put that aside and add that to my vacuum seal bags. So you've got the dipping sauce for the tortillas, corn tortillas. Here they are, seasoned up, ready to go. Let's go outside, put them in Heisenberg. This is my Lone Star Grill's pellet cabinet. Those are those meat sticks I was talking about. That's a separate cook on the channel. Look for the cherry meat sticks and sweet pepper popper video. I have a link to that as well. But staging everything to get in here, to get going. We're warming up, getting it to 165. Run out of space, you gotta put it on top. Luckily I'm 6'6". Actually I'm old and shrank, I'm 6'5" now, and I can reach that. So they're good to go. We'll put them in for a little smoke nap. Again, I typically do these at 225 for 90 minutes, but since this was a stick cook, I did 2 hours, 165.
2 hours later.
Yahtzee! Yeah, the sticks are ridiculous. Turned out pretty good. There's that other video I was mentioning before. I'll put a link in the description. Definitely worth doing. They turn out great. We had a jumper. I had to put them back on the cooling grate. I think they get a little bit more smoke at the 225 than they did here at the 165, just my opinion. But the smoker's going, you might as well use it. Had to get the peppers, kind of ran into a problem. I didn't have enough guajillos, so pasillas and the guajillos, so I added some anchos that I had available. Typically the recipe calls for a lot more. But peppers are peppers. I'm going to de-seed them and then rehydrate them in boiling water. So I just added a couple ancho peppers. They're always great to have on hand. They're not hot, really good flavor, but you want to get the seeds out and take the stems off because they're going in the blender. They do a pretty good job drying them out. I'll try to get it in focus there. There we go. But I go in there, cut it off, sprinkle off the seeds into a bowl. Chop everything else up. And it's going in, so they're decent size because they're going to go into a blender when they're rehydrated. And we're just going to rehydrate those in boiling water for 3 minutes. They're really the only hot thing. The tomatoes and onions aren't that hot. I will link the recipe at the end, so don't worry about it. We'll get a screenshot later. But here are all the ingredients that I'll be using on this cook. Don't forget the cinnamon. I added that, edited the recipe. It's way better. Into my Ninja blender they go. And we'll rock this baby. So blend it really, really well. You want to get the onions chopped up. You want to get the peppers chopped up. Everything in there. And I do it in batches because I make more marinade. So when you're adding in beef broth and whatever else, you're going to have different batches that are coming out. So it's really important to blend and stir this so everything gets married together. And then it's going in the refrigerator overnight. I typically do this the day before. You don't have to, but why not? Now let's work on the briskets. So I had 2 briskets. Doing this at 12x speed, so you don't have to watch and fall asleep watching me trim a brisket, but I trim the crap out of it. So I scalp it, I get all the fat off because we are going to grind this at the end, or chop it, I'm sorry. And you don't want all that fat in your bites. So my neighbor likes the tallow, so I'll cut off fat into sizes I'm going to put in my meat grinder here or there in a second. But I wanted to get all the fat off I can, keep the meat where I need to on trimming for a burger. You'll see that coming up at the end. But just getting it all off so it cooks really well. Takes the seasonings. Love me some Cholula binder. You'll see that coming up. But save the meat. Make a burger. Get it all cleaned up. Again, I am not worried about scalping this bad boy at all. I'm going to trim into where the mohawk is, get that fat out of there, deckle fat. That's no good in a bite. So I keep as much meat on it as possible. Not too bad. We'll put that in the fridge to chill up a little bit so it's easier to grind. Love my Cholula binder. Holy cow, fajita and voodoo. Let's get going. Let's get these things seasoned up. Holy cow's the first layer. Get that down. Don't be shy. Fajita's good. That's what the recipe calls for. Holy cow and fajita's really good. And then you can't ever have too much of voodoo, so I put voodoo on freaking everything. Get that Cholula in there, get the binder going. Doesn't add any heat, it's fine. It just gets it to adhere and adds a little bit of flavor. This is my son's favorite thing I make. He's in college at UTSA, he's a pitcher. So we quote, meet up halfway in comfort and exchange coolers. So let's get the Camacho going. I'm going to light my split basket. Love me some fire.
Oh, fire! Yeah, yeah. Yeah, fire! 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 Fire!
Hello, Beavis. I have been waiting for you. I am fire.
Whoa! You're fire! Yeah, yeah.
The Camacho basket, I have a link for that in the description. It's freaking awesome. Really adds that offset flavor to my pellet cabinet like nothing else. It's just a must-have on my long cooks. Brisket, butts, chickens, you name it, it's getting a Camacho. So we'll put these in here. Kind of set and forget. I don't meat probe or anything or temp check them. It's 300 degrees for 3 hours. Now we'll get my 1 horsepower dual meat grinder, grind up the tallow for better surface area. We'll do this at 8x speed so you're not falling asleep. Gets it through here, makes it better surface area. It just renders a lot better when you run it through a grinder than just chopping it up. So my yield is typically better for tallow. Needed another container, so I had to empty that one. We'll get going. Finish off that. So I had good yield. 2 containers of fat to render into tallow when we're done, so that's not bad. My trimmings, I'll run those through 2 passes as well. Even though it's a dual grinder, I like the dual pass. That's the first pass, as you can see, and now you can see that more spaghetti-ish grind off the second pass. So it makes great burgers. Money! So let's make some tallow. Again, we had the smoker at 300. Brisket's going to cook for 3 hours at 300 and then 2 hours at 350. That's it. So we're going to put the tallow in. That was my first mistake where that went. You'll see it coming up. Or as Bob Ross says, we don't make mistakes, we make happy accidents. So, smoking, let it roll. Again, I don't look, I don't touch, I don't do anything. Let it roll. 3 hours. Let's go get them.
3 hours later.
Oh yeah, because mohawk is meat, y'all. So keep the mohawks on there because it's going to get chopped up, so who cares? It's better in the birria, trust me. This is an amazing recipe. Tallow's looking pretty good. Nice and bubbly. Might have been a bit too hot. You'll see why here shortly. So that first one was good. That second great one. That's the fail. I burned it. So that one was above the fire pot. And at 300, that's just too hot. Lesson to myself there is move it over to the left or away from that first shelf in that right bottom corner. So we'll pull these off with my hog lifter. Very helpful. Pour in the marinade and then we'll cover them up with foil. There I am pulling out the tallow. And bad and good. Alright, back to that. Pour that in. That's why you make as much marinade as possible, because man, cooking this stuff, braising it with the brisket, just freaking amazing. Get it good and layered and sealed. We're going to go back in, cover everything up. Because it does get hot, it does get flexy, so you want to have some good support to carry it off. Definitely use a full-size sheet pan. Alright, going back in, covered up. Set and forget. 350, 2 more hours.
2 hours later.
Boom! That's what I'm talking about. I pour off that marinade. So good. Let's chop it up. Get a good chop on it. Gotta taste it. Oh, it's so yummy. And then I'll add some of that sauce to it when I'm making the tacos, but I clean out the intermuscular fat there between the flat and the point. You don't want that in a bite. So just clean it up, chop it up. Stick in the bowl, add that marinade because I'm going to add that to vacuum seal bags, and I'll store it, freeze it, and then share with my son and my neighbor. But oh, it's so good. So freaking good. That was the first brisket. I think we had a fire in the pellet smoker, that's why it was all smoky like that. Money shot. This mixes well, chops well. Can't complain. That's my poured off extra, because you're going to use that to dip your tortillas in. And I throw some of that into my vac seal bags. But, oh, this stuff is so good. Definitely use 2 more tortillas or it falls apart. Not that you can really pick this up with your hand. It's definitely a fork and knife kind of eat. But get a good crisp. Oh, so good. Definite happy dance. So delicious. It's one of my favorite things to make too. Telling you, crowd pleaser. A little extra on there, just chef's kiss. Use my JBR VAC 100. I seal off the sauce itself as well as the birria with sauce. That freezes well, and then my son uses it sous vide to heat it back up to 150. Just easy money. Great to share. That's for my neighbor for him to try it, and then I made some for my son. He was taking that home, and the rest is going in the freezer. Great for the music. And here's that recipe I promised. Welcome to take a screenshot. It's so freaking good. Thanks for watching. See you on the next code.